Thank you for watching this video on Informatica Cloud. In this video, you'll see how you can use Informatica Cloud to quickly and easily load data into Amazon Redshift. In this demo, I'm going to take data from a small data warehouse that I have on a local SQL Server database, and I'm going to load that data into Redshift. So to get started, we're here in the Amazon Web Services console, and let's go ahead and click on Redshift. And here we see that my demo cluster is up and running. And if we go off into SQL Workbench and do a refresh, we see that we've currently just got two tables here in Redshift already loaded, one for my account dim table and one for my contact dim table. What I'm going to do now is load into a table called Opportunity Fact. To do that, I go back to the browser, we go to informaticacloud.com. I'm going to log in into my account. I then go to the Apps menu and select Data Synchronization. And by clicking on New, what we see is a simple 6-step wizard to define my data load. So here in step 1, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a name. It's something I can keep track of this over time. And I'm going to perform the insert operation. In step 2, I'm going to choose my connection for my local SQL Server database. And now we see the various tables that are located inside that database, and I'm just going to choose my Opportunity Fact table. What also pops up is a very quick data preview. I see the first 10 rows. And as I'm moving the data over, one of the things that I notice is that the account key, the first 10 characters are the same for every row. So what I'm going to do as part of the data load is actually truncate the first 10 characters and only load the data after that. Alright, so I now move on to step 3, where I define my target. And here's where I choose Amazon Redshift. And if we take a look at my target details, here's where we see where we've specified the native information to connect directly to Amazon Redshift. Informatica Cloud uses best practices while loading into Amazon Redshift for optimal performance. So at this point, I now choose the Create Target option, and this is where I'll actually generate the table for Opportunity Fact. I now move on to step 4. This is an optional step where I can perform data filters. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and skip this step and move directly to step 5. And this is how I define how the data moves from my source table into my Redshift target. By default, because of the column names matching, everything has already been mapped over to my target. But as I mentioned earlier, let's go into the account key field and let's truncate those first 10 characters. So to do that, I have a whole host of transformation capabilities available to us within Informatica Cloud. But I'm just going to choose my character functions, and I'm going to perform a substring. And for that, I'll take the substring of the original account key field and just start grabbing data after the 11th character. I'm now move on to step 6, and this is my scheduling screen. Here, if we wanted to, we can schedule this to run on a recurring basis, and I can create new schedules if we wanted to. But for this demo, I'm just going to go ahead and run it manually. And if we scroll down to the bottom, this is also where we specify some further Amazon Redshift properties. Again, as for best practices, we'll load into Amazon S3, and then we'll do the load into Redshift. So here's where I specify my S3 bucket name. By default, we do perform compression, and I also need to specify a staging directory location. Alright, so now let's go ahead and save and run this. And now the data load is executing. And now we see that the load has completed. So if we now go back into SQL Workbench and do a refresh, we see that the Opportunity Fact table has indeed been created. And if we take a look at the data, we also see that the first 10 characters of that first field have been removed. Thank you for watching this video on Informatica Cloud. For more information, go to informaticacloud.com.